Hello, everyone. We're so happy to be here today
Yes,
with
we
you.
are.
We have something that we want to talk about, and we're just going to lead in with that and see where it takes us.
Sure.
So we're going to talk about our experience with following through on the Joe Dispenza workshop workbook that we have. So
And it's based on his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Yes, and so it is a workbook with exercises, writing exercises. So one of them is writing with your left hand. And I actually took the direction as writing this one sentence with your left hand before each. So did Sam. So you're the only one out of three of us that
Is writing in my left hand
writing
the whole time.
So
So I don't write a lot.
Three different
Right now.
Okay.
And so we do a 17-minute meditation. So we do a little journaling before the meditation, and we answer a question at the end. So it really is thought-provoking, makes you think about things that you don't like, things that you don't want to feel, act, or think about, and then things after. What do you want? How are you going to plan your day in this new mental state?
Yes. And what it's done for me is that it's gotten me back into a meditation practice.
Yes.
And I find the guided meditations to be a really easy segue in to doing your own meditation because you're focusing on someone else's voice. What did you say?
It makes it so much easier. It really does.
Yeah. So it's a great segue into creating your own meditations or being able to. I know I was speaking with our sister Maureen, and she said, she's in her early 60s. She's never meditated before, and she said, "How do you stop your thoughts?" I said, "You don't stop your thoughts.
No, you just become aware of them."
Well, you become aware of them, but then you have to take your focus away from them.
The words.
And it's all about training your mind
and focus on your breath.
So you don't focus on your thoughts by focusing on your breath or focusing on Joe's voice and what he is saying. And so that takes you away from your thoughts. So this is something that we cannot stop. We cannot stop the thoughts. It's just a part of being human.
We have 60 to 70 thoughts a day.
No, 1,000.
60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. And so when you're first doing this practice of changing your thoughts,
it seems impossible. It really does seem impossible.
Though. It's not.
No, I'm just saying it seems
it
impossible.
seems it would be, but it's not.
But so many people think that we're stopping our thoughts. You're not stopping your thoughts.
Nope.
So it's just like different parts of the consciousness. So visiting different parts of your consciousness.
And your brain. And your different parts of your brain.
Well, you're using your brain to experience the different parts. So all of this work that we're doing has scientific data to back it up. And also what we learned is how it's working. So a lot of people who are in that think that way, like they have to know how something's working. You want to know the engineering of it. And so that is all in Joe's work. If you go on his website, there are online courses you can take and it's, like step by step, holding your hand.
It's so helpful. So helpful.
One of the greatest things, the experiences that I'm having is that doing it with you and Sam.
So it's really good to do it with somebody else because they understand what you're going through, and you can help, you can coach each other, and you can assist each other. And the one thing I want to say about the 60 to 70 thoughts a day is
70,000
thoughts a day is that 90% of those thoughts are the same ones we had yesterday.
Yes, that's
That's
astounding.
so many.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that Cheryl, our client who brought the Joe Dispenza workshop here to Rochester, it's not as week long. It was just a 10-hour, more of a corporate workshop, helping people to raise their own vibration. Because when you do that in an office, in a corporation, the whole vibe raises.
Yes, it permeates the
and
space.
It's more collective. Even if there's, even if only one person does it, it's going to do it. But the more people that do it, the more powerful it is. So Cheryl,
there's power in numbers.
Yes, on the very first opening.
Excuse me.
Yeah, on the very first opening of the workshop, she said that she teared up. She had a tear because she was just so happy and grateful to be able to share this with. She has 2 of her sons that were there, a few employees, and then there were us. She has other people that she knows in Rochester that are familiar with this work and then are doing this work. So there's a lot of the support and power in community.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that is what is really what it's really all about. It's not just becoming the most powerful person, but collectively, when we do it for ourselves, we automatically help others, but then when we share that with them, then it's even better.
So everybody's been so receptive because I would talk about the workshop, and then if they say something, I just take this perfect opportunity to say, change it. How can you change it? And so they're actually changing their thoughts.
So that's the technique, changing. So we can remind each other all the time. So if we're in a negative thought spin, or we're talking negatively about ourselves, or we're verbalizing a self-sabotaging thought, that Deanna will say to me, change it. And I was like, there were a couple of days where I was really, really low energy. And I was like, I just can't right now. I don't want to do it right now. Because it does take mental energy and the will to do it. But, I have committed. I've committed to this work. I committed when I signed up for the workshop.
Yeah.
I was committed to this work. And because I was familiar with the Joe Dispenza workshop, or his work, that I knew.
I was excited.
Exactly what I wanted.
Exactly.
Because we cannot create a better world for ourselves or others without doing the work.
Yes. Yeah.
And
so it's, if you want change in your life, the change begins with you.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to change old habits. So is there anything else that you changed at home? Have you changed anything that you know of? Are you doing anything opposite or different?
No, but I take a different route to work and home, and that's been great. It's a more relaxed route, and I'm not going through traffic lights, so it's more back roads, and I really like that. But no, nothing else at home. I should start to think about that, like brushing your teeth with your left hand as well. And it just makes you stop thinking.
Stop thinking?
It makes you start thinking. And the 3 techniques to prevent yourself from the self-sabotaging thoughts, which create your personal reality, and they create your personal reality. So if your personal reality isn't what you want it to be, then you have to change your personality. And how changing your personality is by changing your thoughts. And so one way is to say, when you become aware of it, or someone else becomes aware of it that's doing the work with you, is to change it. Yeah. The other way is, when I was at home, I was having all these negative thoughts, and I would become aware of them, and then I would just tell myself to breathe. And so I would inhale compassion and exhale gratitude. I would just think compassion as I was inhaling and think gratitude as I was exhaling. And that felt so good.
So even in the middle of, working in the kitchen or doing a chore or something, if that, negative thought kept, started creeping in, what would you do? Would you stop?
I would stop.
And do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would stop, and then I would breathe, and then the thought changed. And the other way is to just say stop in your head. Just say stop.
Yeah.
And you talk to yourself that way, but you're talking to your subconscious that way. Stop having that,
So we're controlling our subconscious. We're not letting our subconscious control our life.
And
what about?
Well, I want to put the link to the Stop It with
the video of Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart.
Yeah. It's a really good parody video that Bob Newhart, who is a comedian, people in our age and a little bit younger will remember the Bob Newhart show. And also...
So good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So those are the techniques.
So, that's it. The 3 techniques.
Yeah.
Change it, breathe, or stop.
Yes.
So real simple, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And you just like, it'll come to you which one to do in the moment.
Right.
Yeah. So
what about with Kevin? Are you doing anything differently with your husband?
not yet.
No. Have you said change it to him at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So with Sam, my daughter, because we live together, and we've been able to. So I have her to practice this work with at home, and then Deanna to practice this work with at the studio.
Needed it worse.
And so I don't know about that. I think we all did.
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the best, at work and at home.
Yes.
24/7.
Yes.
And you know what to do if you realize that you're having self-sabotaging thoughts. So that's going to come when you're having, it's baby steps. Baby steps.
So one of the other things that I changed was that I now drive in the right-hand side of the expressway or in the middle, and not try to, hurry anywhere, passing cars, or, trying to
so
go.
use all 3 lanes.
Yeah. But I do kind of drive away from clusters of cars, just so that I can have my space too. So, so that's changed a lot. My perspective has changed a lot. And it's so much fun to see the changes
in yourself
that are,
that are beneficial, that are positive, that are uplifting. And then you just start acting a different way. So this is like, it's got a domino effect. Yeah. And so that your, world starts to look brighter, more positive. And part of that is not to participate in gossip, because even listening to gossip is participating. Yeah. And the other is not to watch the daily news. No. Because that'll make you spiral downward and make you think you're going crazy, because it's just crazy.
And then what's really great is that once you start doing this and you start becoming in the practice of this, then you become aware of your energy and your body. Our body is our barometer for how we're feeling it. It talks to us all the time, but we have been programmed and trained to override our bodies because, well, it's always been a really strong work ethic, or we've been compromising ourselves as women, as mothers, for everyone else in the family. Trying to make everybody happy and doing as much as we can for
everybody else but ourselves. Yeah. And you know that we all do it, so we can support one another in doing the inner work that helps you. And this is really about self-love and self-respect.
Absolutely.
Self-love and self-respect, and having compassion for yourself. You know how you have compassion very easily for other people. Doing it for yourself and acknowledging your greatness, acknowledging your accomplishments. And for the first time, just say, I've done a really good job, raising my children and owning my own business. And just acknowledging that and not depending on anybody outside of you. So this is all coming inside. This is, we've lived our lives for hundreds of years with, looking to outside for the answers, looking to outside.
Well, maybe decades at least. I don't know if it's been hundreds of years. It, really depends on the culture.
Definitely like 100 years.
Like but Americans,
yes,
we're
that's what I'm talking about.
Distracted.
Yes.
And so it's time to go inward, to quiet.
Because this is the inner authority.
Yes.
The inner authority. Yes. And when you can quiet the mind, you can really come into your body.
Yeah.
That's what yoga is good for.
And when you quiet your own mind, you quiet the mind of the collective.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Because if we want any change in our lives, I was talking to a client today who was, really complaining about something her husband does or doesn't do. And I said, I learned a long time ago not to have any expectations. And now as I age and I have more wisdom, and I know that I can meet anyone at their level,
where they're at
their level, and not judge or be critical of them, and especially people that we live with.
And that's having compassion.
Or work with on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's having compassion, because you never know where somebody's coming from. No. What their lives were like.
What their stories were.
Yeah. We all have stories. We all have stories. So once you feel that compassion and the love and respect for yourself, that's the energy that you're putting out there, and other people will also, feel that and start treating you that way.
Yeah, and if you think about our lives as our teachers, and that everyone that comes into our lives or is in our lives that they're here to teach us about ourselves.
It has nothing to do with that.
So it's an interesting concept for people. Like, you've heard the word mirroring, maybe, you know, projecting. So mirroring is that people are showing us an aspect of themselves that are ourselves that we don't like, we're unhappy with.
Yeah.
We don't have the patience.
But we see it in the other person.
Yes.
But it's hard to get outside your body and see what you're doing. And you just ask yourself, show me if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and your inner authority will show you when you're doing that.
Yeah. So one of my things is patience, you know, and I don't have a lot of patience for other people. And I do have a lot of patience with children and with, you know, with animals. Yeah. And so I realize now, and this is one of the things I'm working on, is having more patience with myself. Yeah. So when I catch myself getting frustrated when I'm in action and doing something,
we're hardest on ourselves.
Then I can become aware in the moment. Mm-hmm. I can say, stop it, change it. Mm-hmm. I can breathe. Mm-hmm. I've got those 3 techniques that I can use.
So easy.
And then once I, you know, started doing that, then I could just become aware and know what to do. And this is the exercise. This is the building of the muscle, the muscle of reining in that wild pony of an unconscious of ours, and
the subconscious,
reining it in and taming it. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
There's so many ways to think
and
about it.
It's so empowering. It really is empowering. So you're not depending on anything outside of you. You're just going, you're only depending on yourself.
Yes.
And we can only depend on ourselves.
Right.
Yes, although it's different. I can always depend on Deborah.
I know, same here.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's someone in your life that you can always depend on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to talk about, can we go forward to the Tim tip?
If you have any questions about it, or tell us, you know, if you want more information, we do life coaching as well. So you can make an appointment through Brow Diva. And book an appointment for life coaching.
Yeah, it's browdiva.com. You can look us up on the web. We'll put a link in below, and we do it in person or remotely. Yes. So anyone
we can
Zoom contact us
or in person,
or send out, you know, put a comment in, send us a direct message, and
it won't be with the both of us. It'll just be with one of us.
Yes.
Okay.
So move on to the Tim tip. So. Yes. What was it you wanted me to demonstrate? The cheeks? You know,
yes, because I did that for myself today. And I just freshened up my makeup because I just got my brows done. So I just did a little bit more tinted moisturizer. And then I put my lips on. Excuse me. And I noticed like I had no color in my cheeks. So I just took my finger and put a little bit on my cheeks, and you're gonna demonstrate it.
Yeah, so I have nothing on. I mean, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like I have anything on. Do you need some water? Okay. All right. The lip color. Thank you. So once you put it on your lips, I chose bright today because of the colors that I was wearing. And lately I've been, like this week, I was just wearing very natural, like barely there. So when I put the bright on today, I was like, wow, you know, like really bright, but I liked it. And so
it brightens your eyes too.
Brighten it up a little bit more, mat it together. And then I take some right from my lip and go right onto the ball of my cheek.
And if it comes out too bright, you can take your stipple brush that has just the residue of the tinted moisturizer on it and blend it in. So it looks natural. It looks like you're naturally blushing.
I also like to do some up here. Be careful not to raise your brows when you put it here. Just putting it right on the bone.
Yeah, look at that.
It's so subtle. It's so subtle. So the idea is so that when I see my reflection, I look vibrant. I look happy. I smile because I love what I see when I look in the mirror. When I, and it doesn't have anything to do with what anybody else thinks about how I look.
No.
Because, everyone would say, oh, you're
this for you.
Yeah,
not for anybody else.
We're all beautiful without makeup. There are days and times. Now, Deanna thinks you should do it every day.
I do.
Every day. And so I'm more of the type of person that I want to do it when I want to. And I do it almost every day. But there are days when I don't, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. I'm okay. I'll come to work without any makeup on. I'm comfortable, and
that's taken a while
for
you to get there.
Not really.
No.
Maybe it is for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
No.
she's not there yet.
Yeah. No.
No. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's who I am. This is me. This is me.
And that was a projection. That you
Oh
said
yeah.
it's taken a while.
Well, there's a lot that. Yeah, it was a projection.
Yeah. So she was actually talking about herself.
Yeah.
That was a
good.
perfect example.
Yeah.
Of the mirrored effects.
Or projection.
Or projection. Yeah. Exactly. The projection.
Because you saw it. I mean, and we can talk to each other this way as well.
Yeah.
We have no problem with talking to each other this way, and I don't take it personally. I read the 4 Agreements a long time ago, and it's just
that's a book by Don Miguel Ruiz. And so we'll put that link in. And one of the 4 agreements is to not take anything personally. And so that's a really good rule to live by too. Yeah.
And it's like, and I read the book years and years ago, and it's finally coming to me in the moment that I don't take it personally. So it's really great.
Perfect.
I just relax into it, and it's really wonderful.
Yeah, and it's helping. That also helps to change your thoughts too.
Yes. And the other thing that I wanted to teach really quick was the mountain pose. So you can do this to bring yourself into your body anytime, especially if you're feeling stressful, you're stressed, your mind is, you can't stop your mind. Bring your attention to your body and do mountain pose. And the way to do mountain pose is to stand and feel the pressure of the ball of your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. Lift your kneecaps, and you can all just sit here and do this now. Lift your kneecaps, which engages your thighs, and then tuck your tailbone, bring your shoulders down and onto your back, and do the Uddiyana Bandha. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha is tightening your sphincter muscle and tighten your abdomen. And so that brings your attention into your body and away from those monkey mind thoughts.
Yeah, so that's coming into your body. It brings you right into your body. Yeah, I love that.
And the other thing that will help to raise your vibration is by drinking and eating plants like fresh. This is the best time of the year to do this. This is fresh orange juice. And as I was making it this morning, sometimes I'll just bring a container and I'll just split it with Deborah. But this morning I brought her own. Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's like a beautiful cup of sunshine, and it tastes so good. So I have a citrus juicer that was recommended by the medical medium. It's a very simple citrus juicer. And so this was about 8 oranges between the 2 glasses.
Yeah, and so it goes right to your brain. It's glucose, it's energy for your brain.
And raises your vibration.
Yes, and it's so much better for you than coffee.
Yes.
Coffee is very acidic. There's so many things. I mean, yeah, it tastes good.
But you don't have to quit coffee because it'll leave you. The more high vibration you put into your body, the lower vibration things just naturally leave. And that's what's so great about this lifestyle.
And I have a client who was in this week who's had a lot of health issues recently, and she came in, she had her cup of coffee with her. It was in the afternoon, early afternoon, like around noon, 12. And she had not eaten anything at all yet. And so I lectured her, and
she's good at it.
And Peg is like in her 80s.
Yeah.
And so she really heard me. She heard me, and then on her way out, we have mints and Hershey Kisses here, and I wouldn't let her take one, and instead I gave her a cup of strawberries to take.
Because it's glucose for the brain. It's energy for the brain,
and she would have been depleting her energy.
Yes. So that's so great. So look at all these tips. Change your thoughts by doing the 3 techniques, and then
change your health by drinking high vibrational foods and juices, fresh fruits and vegetables and juices, and then add a little brightness to your face too, if you want to.
This is all about raising your own vibration and doing it for you, not for anybody else, but everybody else will benefit from it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So is that it?
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Thank you for
Thank you,
being here
everybody.
today.
Thank you.
And leave us a comment.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank
you for being
you.
here.
Love you all. Mwah.